Well, the FBI has just issued a mysterious warning, and coincidentally, right after a string of fires destroyed food and fertilizer processing plants all across the country. Now, before I get into the report, just a reminder, please get on over to preparewithlisa.com and make sure you and your family are prepared with food storage, especially considering that we're in the middle of a food crisis right now. And what you don't want to do is be a victim of this crisis, but you want to be prepared for anything that might be headed in our direction, especially considering some of the stuff that I'm going to share with you today. But right now, you can get $150 off their 3-month food supply kit, or they've also got $50 off of the 4-week emergency food supply kit. So check it out at preparewithlisa.com today. So let's start first with this mysterious notice that was just published by the FBI. And for that, I'm going to take you directly to the notice itself. And here it is. Private industry notification published by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, specifically the Cyber Division. And you can see it was published April 20th, 2022. And here is what they're warning of. Ransom attacks on agricultural cooperatives potentially timed to critical seasons. And here's the summary. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, is informing Food and Agricultural Section partners that ransomware actors may be more likely to attack agricultural cooperatives during critical planting and harvest seasons and disrupting operations, causing financial losses and negatively impacting the food supply chain. The FBI noted that ransomware attacks during these seasons against 6 grain cooperatives during the fall 2021 harvest and 2 attacks in early 2022 that could impact the planting season by disrupting the supply of seeds and fertilizer. Cyber actors may perceive cooperatives as lucrative targets with a willingness to pay due to the time-sensitive role they play in agricultural production. Although ransomware attacks against the entire farm-to-table spectrum of the FA sector occur on a regular basis, the number of cyber attacks against agricultural cooperatives during key seasons is notable. So what the FBI is stating here in just their simple summary is they're saying that it's likely there could be more cyber attacks on agricultural facilities, and such attacks could disrupt operations, they could cause financial losses, and they could negatively impact the food supply chain. This is absolutely huge because we are already in the middle of a food supply chain crisis. And here the FBI is saying, hey, heads up, it might get worse due to cyber attacks on our agricultural facilities. But it goes on to kind of expand on that a little more. And here's what it says in that same report. A significant disruption of grain production could impact the entire food chain, since grain is not only consumed by humans, but also used for animals and feed. In addition, a significant disruption of grain and corn production could impact commodity trading and stocks. An attack that disrupts processing at a protein or dairy facility can quickly result in spoiled products and have a cascading effect down to the farm level as animals cannot be processed. And the rest of that just kind of gives examples of attacks, ransomware attacks that have already happened on certain facilities. But here they're also expanding and saying, the FBI is saying, if it happens to grain facilities or protein or dairy facilities, this could have a cascading effect as well on our food supply and could cause major disruptions. Now, the even eerier part is this warning is coming on the heels of a couple of things. First off, we already have a food crisis here in the U.S. A shipping crisis and a food crisis have hit the United States of America to the point where we are missing products and huge amount of products in our grocery stores. And of course, the massive amounts of inflation that were directly caused by the Biden administration. What it also comes on the heel of is a mysterious string of fires that have broken out all over the United States of America. In fact, I put out an entire report about this questionable intentional sabotage where processing plants, specifically food facilities and fertilizer plants, have been struck all across the country here in the United States. And they've been starting ever since January and then increasing over the months. And all kinds of plants have been targeted. And I've named, I think, 16 to 17 in this report. But I believe if you include some of the plane crashes that have also hit processing plants, then we're at about 24 accounts. This is not normal. This is well above and beyond. And here's an article that kind of expands on it. And this is on Western Standard. Food shortages magnified by string of destroyed food processing facilities. And it goes on. Food shortages have been exasperated by a string of fires, plane crashes, and explosions at nearly 24 food processing facilities across Canada and the US. And that's, of course, if you include Canada as well. But either way, I did talk about this in depth on Restricted Republic. If you want more information, subscribe to restrictedrepublic.com. Check it out today. And right now, you can get the entire first year for $5 per month. Use the coupon code TRUMP. And this comes also with a 14-day free trial, so you can cancel whenever you want. But check Restricted Republic out to get more information on that. But with that, one has to ask why this string of events happened. And then we have the FBI publishing this warning of cyber attacks that could go after our food facilities here in the US. If that were to happen, and let's hope it does not, or if it were to continue at the levels that it's continuing with these fires, and you got to really question what's going on here. Is it intentional? Is it not intentional? But either way, with all these warnings, are they trying to send signals to us of a dreadful future for our food supply? And here's what my bottom line to you is: be prepared. That's one of the reasons I partnered with preparewithlisa.com. Whether you use them or not, it's beside the point. Either way, please make sure you're prepared with something. But one of the things you can absolutely do is prepare with food so you are ready if a crisis were to hit. And that's probably, I think, in this kind of area, the strongest thing we can do. That, and when you go to the grocery stores, buy some extra product and have backups in the event of, shortages here. And we're already having shortages here in the US, but I digress. Anyhow, I wanted to get you the latest on that. I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and concerns and opinions on this FBI warning. Anyhow, thanks again. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.